Good day, everyone. My name is Ed Molesky. We're joined today by Brad Humphrey, CEO of QMX Gold. Brad's going to give us a summary of his very exciting project in Val D'Or.
Thanks, Ed. So QMX Gold, we're a gold-focused exploration company. We're focused on our nearly 200 square kilometer property. It's a highly prospective land package located in the heart of the Val D'Or mining camp in the Abitibi, Quebec, which is one of the best mining jurisdictions in the world. And we're surrounded by both operating and historically producing assets, including several across our property. We've got 4 drill rigs turning right now across 3 different projects, and it couldn't be a more exciting time to be having this conversation with you, Ed.
How many targets? You mean this is a big land pack?
The entire property, we've got a number of projects across the whole property. Our most advanced is the Bonafond deposit. We put out our maiden resource on that last year. It continues to grow. It's still growing. We're going to put out a sort of an interim update here in the not too distant future. And I suspect we'll be having another update next year and the year after that, probably. So that's one target, and that's on the eastern side of the property. And so that's got 2 drill rigs on it right now. We've got 1 drill rig sitting on the intrusive, following up on the hole that we put out. There's a hole we put out mid-August, kilometer-long hole, mineralized top to bottom, a number of enrichment zones in that hole. We're following up on that, plus we're drilling to the south. So we've just recently proved that it's expanding to the east and west. We just finished a drill program to the north, which we're waiting for some assays on, and now we're drilling to the south. So that's the east side of the property. There's a 5-kilometer trend that we're going to start drilling in the winter between a past producer called Bevcon, and we think there's a number of opportunities there. So that's the eastern side. We'll be adding some rigs for that project in the winter. We're also drilling up on what we call the Burlamac, which is near some past producers. So the old Dumont, Lac Herban, and Fertibra mines. We're drilling a target called River. We put out some really nice results on the River target earlier this year. That was a reconnaissance program. We're now doing a full exploration program, and we expect to have results on that in the not too distant future as well. Plus, we're drilling on the eastern side of the Burlamac called Pullmac, and that target is testing some structures that are coming across from our neighbor Probe. They made a discovery, the Corvan trends onto our property, so we're doing some reconnaissance drilling there. So right now we've got 4 rigs turning. In the winter, we'll probably be adding another 2 or 3 rigs, and lots going on.
The mining business is you need a lot of capital. So you're going to do all this drilling. Are you looking for money right now?
For the 2020 program, we're fully funded. Hard dollars and flow through. As we put together our budget for 2021, we'll start to think about how we're funding that program. But for what we're doing and what we've been talking about, we're fully funded for that program.
Now, Brad, I noticed that there's quite a few shares outstanding in the company, but you also have some key shareholders, do you not?
That's correct. So all of our neighbors are shareholders. So we've got Eldorado.
I want to repeat that because I think anybody listening, if your neighbors want to own you, they must also believe in the vision.
I believe so. I think that it, sort of underpins what we've been doing since 2016 and the way we've been approaching our exploration projects, which is systematically and methodically going through all the historic data first. And that's why if you go through our past press releases, you'll see we have been putting out amazing results in just about every spot that we drill. The big shareholders, obviously, Eldorado has the Lamaque mine just to the west of us, and they're the biggest shareholder.
That's a producing mine, right?
That is a producing mine. Then we've also got Probe Metals, O3 Mining, Osisko Royalties, and Eric Sprott also came in March of this year as a shareholder. So all of that, plus there's some large high net worth shareholders that are very supportive as well. About half of our shares outstanding is actually locked up pretty tight.
Okay. Now I noticed back about a month ago, the stock spiked to about 30 mid. It shot up. It doubled basically on a press release.
That's
and I
correct.
think you was that the one where you had about 70 meters of 6 grams or something like that?
Yeah. So that hole, it was basically mineralized top to bottom. We drilled into the intrusive, a kilometer long. And what we were trying to test is these enrichment zones. So we're hitting the enrichment, we're down the intrusive, but hitting the enrichment zones perpendicularly. So roughly true width. And we hit that 73 meters, about 6.5 grams inside the pit shell. And then we had a number of enrichment zones all the way down that hole, including down 1,000 meters, 1,000 meters, where we hit 35 grams over, it was about 4 meters at depth. So we're following up on that right now, and we're pretty excited.
You're a takeout target. You're not trying to find anything. You're trying to just make it a lot bigger, put a bow around it, and say thank you very much.
Our plan from the beginning was we had this great land package. We had about a 3 million market cap. And we knew that we could, through the drill bit, we could recognize a lot of value from this property. And we've had a lot of success since we started drilling. We continue to build on those successes. And we are trying to drill as quickly as possible and get as much of that value surfaced as we can before potentially something like that happens. Or we just continue to work down our list of priority targets, which is dozens of targets long. And that's why when we talk about it, we've got an advanced project, which we're expanding. We also have these other reconnaissance type programs that we're doing on the property to start to knock off some of those high priority targets that we haven't gotten to yet.
You've got this property. How much of it's been drilled in your mind? Is it the 5% drilled?
So there's a lot of drilling that has happened on this property.
Okay.
And now, when you look at these old mining camps, one of the things to keep in mind is if you see lots of drill holes, you need to look into how were they drilled, what were they looking for, and in some cases they weren't even assayed. In this area, there's a lot of drilling down to about 100, 200 meters, which isn't deep enough for the majority of the production.
That's very shallow.
Deeper.
Yeah.
And orientation is important. So it's a very structurally controlled area. We check the orientation of the different vein sets in all the holes we drill, because you don't know whether you're drilling parallel to the high grade vein set or you're drilling into it. For example, Bonifond, it's right next to the Louvecourt mine. Ore Resources made the original discovery there while looking for additional VMS to feed the Louvecourt mine. So they made a bunch of gold discoveries all over and never really followed those up. So we have all that data. We're going through all of that data, and that's how we've been putting together a lot of our targets. Is they weren't necessarily focused on gold, or they hit something interesting. It was we know it's too shallow now because of the new geologic models in the area, and Integra did a lot of that work for us, and we do benefit from our neighbors that are a little bit further along than we are, and we apply those new geologic models and ideas to our property. And so there has been a lot of drilling, but maybe not in the correct drill orientation or to the right depth.
Thanks for joining us today, and really find this to be an interesting story. So if anybody wants to learn more, what would they do? Go to your website?
Yeah, so they can go to our website at qmxgold.ca, and there are all our presentations and press releases are there. And I would just say, I truly believe we are just scratching the surface of this property. And it's a great time to get involved in QMX. So please take a look, and look forward to speaking with you again.
Okay, we're gonna leave it there. Maybe we'll follow up here in a few months.